Okay, so in today's session, we're just going to do a lunging session, and we'll see if we can put the legs on her back, pick up her gait into a nice trot, and if all goes well, we might even be able to ask for a nice canter, but we'll see. G'day everyone, this is Jill and I'm Zoe. This is a little reminder that I'm not a professional horse trainer, so anything you do see in my videos is only intended to be a guide. So, with that said, let's get into the video. Hey guys, so due to length, just like other videos just like this, I split it up into two pieces, each running for roughly 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you for joining me. Good. So I don't know if you guys can actually hear that or not, but there's actually the neighbours there doing some slashing or lawn mowing next door. So Jill's attention is a little bit on that right now, but we'll see what we can ask of her anyway. Hey Jill. Good girl. So you notice I've just got a few bits and bobs laying on the tarpaulin here, including this blue pool noodle. So that's another desensitization tool I use with her. And reason for the colour is that horses, from what I can figure out, actually see very similar to dogs. And no, I do not mean in black and white. Horses, like dogs, actually see blue and yellow the best, and I'm pretty sure they can distinguish green as well, but they cannot distinguish red. Just like a human who is colorblind, red appears very similar to grey, so red and grey actually look almost the same to horses. Good girl. The other tool I've got here is just a flag on an extendable stick. Now Jill's seen this before, and we haven't done a little bit of work with this for a little while because we've had a lot of constant rain, which is why she's a little bit jumpy, but she's not too bad. She's settled down a bit because we did a little bit of work with this yesterday. And we're building her up to the point that I can actually ask her to hold that lunge while I'm moving the flag around, but it's only early days. So just like my other lunging video, all I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the rope a little bit. In this case, it's going to be in my left hand, asking Jill to go out to her right. Now, I have used a couple of videos to teach Jill how to lunge, and it actually started with her very close to me, and I would just keep asking her to step forward while yielding her hindquarters away from me. Just like so. Oh. And I'll repeat this again a little bit closer to the camera. Hopefully she's going to be okay here. So again, I'm going to ask her to go forward while yielding her hindquarter away from me. And so that was how Jill was taught to lunge, and I gradually increased the space that I had between myself and her. This was simply by asking her to back up, and as well as yielding her shoulder when I tapped on her shoulder. Ooh. We then progressed this into a cue with the whip, where I would either point with my fingers, or as I've got her on a lunge lead, I'm going to raise my hand with the rope in my left hand, and I'll gesture to her to move off. The whip is only an extension of my arm. It is not a weapon. I do not hit her with it. I may just about give her a little tickle on the bum, but that's only just to encourage forward movement if she is to slow down or attempt to stop. It's just a simple reminder to ask her to keep that moving, but I'm not flogging her with it. I'm not hitting her. I'm not treating her like this is a weapon because I don't want her to fear it. I still want to be able to come along and rub her down with it. And I'll turn her around so you can see. Ooh. So again, it's not a weapon. See, she's not trying to flinch, only when the rope actually just moved up a little bit there. But I can still rub her all down, including down her legs, across her back, across the dock, and down her tail. And this is simply, again, because Jewel has never had this used around her as a weapon. So I'm going to ask her to square up to me. Good girl. I'm going to hold the whip, in this case, in my right hand. And just give me a moment just to correct the lead rope. Okay, so now that I've got my lunge line set up, as I said, I'm going to raise the rope a little bit, give her a little click, a little bit of a visual nudge with the whip, and I'll ask her to walk on. Now it's still early stages, so occasionally she does try to pick up a trot when I ask her to walk, but she is learning to hold that really nice. And the best way to try to keep this nice is just to keep that reminder there to keep her forward movement. But the main object here, there's the energy. Ooh, and walk. Walk on. The main thing here for me is to keep my energy low and not project any excitement or anxiety as to how I'm feeling. Keep my body language nice and quiet. Although, as I said, Jewel's still learning. She's still young. You notice she only does it along this section. So when she gets around there again, I'm going to ask her to change direction and see if we can get that attention back the other way. Good girl. Walk on. Good girl, walk on. Walk on.
Okay, so you'll see here that Jules actually keep trying to hold out a trot instead of holding out the walk that I asked. Now, I left this clip in just to show you guys that Jules' training doesn't always go smoothly and that she is still learning. So this is just part of that learning process.
Good girl, walk on. And woo. Good girl. Walk on. Good girl. And woo. Ooh.
So just like before, I left this clip in so you can see that she's still in the learning phase. And all I'm doing here is I'm just giving a gentle redirection with her head in the other direction to try and get her focus back on me and hopefully regain some control into that gait.
Good. Walk on. Good girl. Good. Walk on. Good. 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 Walk on. Good girl. And whoa. Okay, so we just had a really nice walk out. She held her gait, didn't keep trying to pick it up, and she didn't try to stop. So I'm going to give her a nice little rub, a little bit of a scratch, let her know that she did good, and that's exactly what I'm asking her to do. So we're going to ask for a change in direction by changing hands, lifting the rope in my right hand to ask her to move off to her left, a little bit of pressure on the shoulder, and I'll ask her to walk on. Good, walk on.
So while it may seem mundane that I've left in a clip that is very repetitive, this is highly important in the horse's training process in that they understand of what you're asking for, and with training any animal, repetition is key.
Good. And go back the other way. Walk on. Ooh. Good girl, walk on. Good, and
so, as you may have observed here, Jewel didn't actually stop when I asked her to. So when she failed to do so, I clicked her on a couple more paces and then asked for the behaviour again. This is where the similarities between training a horse and training a dog, the similarities cross over in that repetition and breaking things down into smaller steps helps the animal understand what you're asking.
Good girl. Good. Walk on. Good. Walk on. Good girl. Walk on. Walk on. Good. Good. Walk on. So you notice when she got about to, and woo. Oh. So you notice when she got to about this spot on her last lap, you notice she started to slow. So all I did was I just gave her a little bit of pressure just to encourage that forward movement, but not enough to ask for a trot. Walk on. Good girl, and whoa. Good. So you notice I'm not actually letting her come into the middle. This is because I only want to come into the middle if I actually cue or ask her to. Good girl. Walk on. Good girl, and trot. Good. Trot. Good girl, and whoa. And whoa. Okay, now because she actually decided to keep moving even after I asked for a whoa, I'm going to change direction. Try and get that focus back again. We'll ask her to pick up a nice trot without being silly. That's nice, nice easy trot. And I'm just going to ask her to keep that up for a minute. So it didn't take me very long to realize that Jewel didn't take to being rough handled in any format, which even included using the halter with the lead to actually spin her body around. It had a very negative effect. So the easiest way with her, and it's my understanding with a lot of horses as well, the best way is just to get that communication by changing the direction back and forth until they understand what you're actually asking from them. It's why when she actually held that walk for one complete loop without building up into a trot or trying to stop, that I rewarded that behavior by stopping her, giving her a pat and letting her have a think about it for a moment before continuing the lesson. Walk on. Good girl. Walk on. Good. Walk on. Good girl. So some of you with keen eyes can probably see that I've got the attention of her inside ear. Walk on.
Okay guys, so that just about wraps up part 1. There'll be a link in the description box below for part 2. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you've got a question for myself or Jewel, drop a comment below and I'll answer it the best way I can in a Q&A video. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.